Okay, so this is Tasha the Crafty Crowd. I'm going to show you how to do an easy flat buttercream cake, just so it's smooth. It almost looks like fondant. Okay, so it's an upside down method. So what you're going to do, this is the size of my cake. You see the round, I have a round circle. You want to put it on a solid surface. Wax paper or parchment paper. I have parchment paper. So you want to bring your icing a little bit past your circle, or whatever your design is, square, circle. So you want to just bring it out a little bit so there's extra icing. You want to get it really even, and then you're going to put this in the refrigerator and let it cool. My cake's going to be green, so I'm going to go ahead and put some buttercream on here. This is going to be grass, so I didn't want it to be totally solid green, so it's kind of tie-dyed green. I always put a wet paper towel over my icing while I'm working with it so that it doesn't dry out. So if you have hot water, I have instant hot water, so I just usually dip it underneath there, my spatula underneath there, so it gets nice and clear. So I'm just going to smooth this out. You want it to, I don't want this cake to be very, I don't want the top to be very thick, because I'm going to put grass, I'm going to use a grass tip, and I'm going to put grass on it. So I'm going to make this kind of thin, but you want to make sure it's thick enough to cover the cake so there's not going to be any gaps in there. So, and again, you just want to come a little bit out from the size of your cake shape. I think this is a 8-inch round cake, so I'm just going to go a little bit past that. And now what you're going to do is, once you have it the size that you need, it's about the size, doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So now you want to make sure it's level, right? So I'm just going to go over it like this. My turntable's in my refrigerator with my cake on it, so I don't have that to use. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to make this part right here doesn't have to be very smooth, because the bottom part, you're going to flip your cake upside down on this. So the part that is on the cookie sheet or on the solid surface is actually going to be what is going to be the top of your cake, and it's going to be nice and smooth. All right. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to get my big spatula. I'm going to put it under hot water, and I'm going to dry it off. You want almost boiling water. And now I'm just going to go over it. See, it's not very, I want to make sure it's even. This part right here is not very even, okay? All right. I see a little gap right there in the middle. You can see a little part of the parchment paper coming through. You want to make sure that does not happen. Okay, now this is obviously not a very good spatula to work with. It's too big. So I'm going to get my little spatula again. I'm going to dip it in hot water, or run it under, I have instant hot water, so I can just run it over that. And what you're going to do once you have this level, kind of even, you're going to put it in the refrigerator for about 10-15 minutes, and you're going to let it harden. Okay. All right, so that's good. Again, this does not have to be perfect, because your cake is going to go upside down on this. Make sure your icing stays soft, not crispy. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator 15 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to flip my cake on it upside down. I'll show you the next step. Okay, I have chilled my icing for the top of my cake. Here's my cake that I have. I have it layered. I have two layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top of my cake. You see it here. Make sure I have a good angle here. Okay. This is going to be the top of the cake. So I'm going to put the top of the cake. Actually, I'm going to use this. Okay. There we go. So it's the top of the cake. Just going to press down on it. Okay. So this is going to be the bottom. The reason I did this on the bottom is because, as you can see, it's marbled, but it's kind of uneven, so I can fill in the edges. Now I'm going to ice the rest of the cake, and I put my icing in a pastry bag. It just makes it easier. And then I'm just going to go around. This way I don't have a ton of icing on it. I can just go around like so. And then I'll go around the top, or actually the bottom. So I have plenty of icing. Okay, that should be good. All right. So I'm going to take my spatula, turn this around so I can see.